What's going on, guys? It's Almond. Welcome back to another Call of Duty Modern Warfare video. Sorry if I sound a bit tired, just because I didn't really sleep that well because the whole editing last night. I did the whole video from yesterday. If you guys saw it, I didn't edit till like late last night, and I didn't really get much sleep. But today's gonna be a short video. I'm just gonna be talking about color correction and everything like that, and how you can just make your game just look way better than it is. Because some people see my gameplay, and so a few friends of mine, and they just see my gameplay and they're just like, why is your this like so brighter than mine? Is there certain settings that you have? Is it just your post editing? Like, do you add effects in your editing to make everything look brighter? So I'm gonna just go in depth in everything I do. It's pretty simple. I mean, anybody can do this if you have an Xbox, PS4. If you're on PC, you can do this as well, but you guys have way more leeway than console players, because you guys have so many settings. You have shaders and everything, so your guys' game can just look crisp and clean. But when it comes down to Xbox and PS4, we don't have like all the settings that you guys get. So there's like little things you guys can do. So we'll go in custom match, we'll compare the settings, and I'll show you guys what I do. So let's hop into a custom match. Alright, so we're in a custom match, and you guys can just I'm falling down from the heli and everything like that. You guys can see how my game looks compared to maybe yours. Might be completely different, or just be my little things here and there. But I just chose this map because it has a lot of shadows, and there's a lot that we can talk about. So this is with my settings on. It might look different depending on if you're watching this on a phone, PC, laptop, TV, anything like that. So let's go to like a decent area. I usually go over here because this is like a great example. So if you guys saw when I walked in, you guys can see the shadow, like it's really dark. This is just more aesthetically pleasing just for me because the shadows look darker, and then when I walk in, you can see how everything gets brighter. So, and then how my gun looks. My gun is supposed to look way shinier than this, it's supposed to look how this looks, but then when I walk over here, it's really just dark. So the settings I use when you guys go to your guys' custom like options and stuff like that, you guys have your controller. Those are my settings, by the way, if you guys ever were asking. Those are my controller settings. But let's go to general. So let's talk about brightness first. So this depends on your TV, monitor, depending on all that stuff. So if you're like, just really depends, like you guys gotta test this out yourself, but usually I would keep it around 50 to like 52. 52 is the max for me. It just really depends, because you guys gotta make sure barely visible is like, for me personally, it's basically dark, but I mean I can see like a little bit of it. What the thing is, some people put their brightness up until like 61, like if I'm playing like on 60, let's say 65, this is how my game is gonna look. And just for me, I don't want it to look like this. Like, sure, it looks cool and everything with 65 and you guys can see everything, but just for me, when it comes down to this type of stuff, I don't like 65. I can see why you would run 65 or stuff like that and higher, like you guys can see everything. Sometimes you can see people like way easier than compared to like when I had 52. Like, let's go back to 52. So 52 is like this. See, like everything's not as bright, it's a bit darker. Like if we would go back over here, it shows more of the shadows than anything like that. And when we walk over here, everything just looks different. So this just depends on your personal preference. But I can see why people run high. But if you're more of like a guy that just wants to go for just make your game look good, I have 52, 50 like is around the rough area. Film grain, I would always have this shit off. It just doesn't make your game look that good. I would never run it or anything like that. So always have this off. I mean, if you like the film grain, I'll show you guys how it looks. For me personally, I don't like it. It's just not for me. Like, you'll notice it on certain objects, and like for me it's easy to tell, but I mean to like someone who just doesn't pay attention to this, just doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. But I would 100% just turn off film grain, don't even use it, and just makes everything look a bit better. Subtitles, all this stuff doesn't matter. So this is an important part right here, all this stuff right here, accessibility and HUD. But I usually use square just because of Warzone and like multiplayer, just square is better. This doesn't like change as much, but I mean this is just, I just want to talk about this as well. Same thing as all this, I didn't really change. I mean, you can change all these stuff, but I don't really fuck with it. I think the only thing I changed was the mini map. Okay, so these types of things. So you guys can have your motion blur on and your guys' weapon motion blur on. That's something like, if you like this type of like vibe, like this, how it's all the world just looks like, instead of me just like easily looking around, you can see like a little blur. Same thing when I'm running and just like jumping, you guys can see the blur. It just for me, when I play, it just doesn't work for me. So I don't really mess with the blur. I mean, it's good for I guess trick shots and stuff like that when you're sniping, or like just people like aesthetically like that stuff. But well, you can always do that in post editing. and just editing in general, you can always just add blur itself, so you guys don't have to deal with all this stuff. So I don't like running blur. That's just me. But if you guys do like that and you guys like that, you guys can see the difference. The left one looks, for me, it's way better when I look around because I can see my gun when I'm running around. It just doesn't mess me over. That's why I have it disabled. And then world blur, if I'm trying to find somebody, like I can see somebody easier on the far left and the far right. So that's why I have it disabled. So after doing all these things, there's one final step, and that's like the main key of this video. It's called color blindness. So this, honestly, it just depends on your personal preference. You know, it's basically, if you look at the description, using provided and switch between all these color blindness modes, and color correction is the best fits that you, and you can see more possible. The thing is, you don't have to be colorblind to be using these types of things. It just depends on you. Like there's obviously all these things, like there's, you know, I don't know how to say pro, there's this one, and then there's try. So if you guys like try, this is how try looks. You guys can see like a little bit more bluish type of vibe, but the end, it's like more of like a sunset, you know, type of overlay that people sometimes use like in pictures and stuff like that. So this is what people usually use, but for me, this really depends on your preference. Because I used to use try like on way back on other Call of Duties and stuff like that. So try was just really good. But just for me, when I played this Call of Duty, I really like this one just because the way that everything looks and the shadows look, and it just gives me like a really good like homey type vibe and like a movie like campaign type of vibe. So this is what I like to use. But you guys can switch between those. I really run the first one because everything just looks, or like look at my gun. My gun does not look right. Like this is all like orangish, and like reds look like oranges, and like just this does not look aesthetically pleasing to me. So when I just go to your options, you guys can switch between all these and see what you guys like. But I really like using this one, but you guys can change however you like. And then also this one, this you have to mess with too. Usually it's on world and interface. You can just do it like on the world, just it's outside, not the interface that you guys see usually. You guys can just do it on the interface, not the world. So like all the buttons and everything like that. I use both because I like just color blindness on both of them. It just, for me, it's just really something I like and how the game looks. But you guys mess with this all this want, change the brightness however you guys like. Like I can have all these settings and just change my brightness up to like maybe like 70, and it just gives me a fog effect like on my game. And sure, I can see everything way better. Like I can see brightness and everything like that way easier. I can see whoever's, like, you know, no one's gonna be chilling in the shadows. Like if I'm right here, let's say I'm like right here, there's a good example. I can see whoever's in the shadow, but like if I change my settings back to what it was, 52, how I usually had it, there's a chance I might not see the guy that's right there. There's a big chance because how brightness works. But you guys test this out. I tested out. I tweaked it however I liked. So I'll do a quick one more time overview of all my settings. So brightness is 52, film grain at 0. Don't mess with the color. Don't mess with these types of stuff. It doesn't really matter. The color blindness, I have that one with the colorblind target both. Turn off motion blur just so it can help you out. And then I just have a mini map on square, but I don't think that's a big deal. You guys can have that. And then also my controller settings, if anyone's wondering, I use 1111, low zoom at 1 and high zoom at 1.45, and then linear response curve. Don't really know about much of the response curves. And I use tactical, but I'll probably talk about that in another video of how I use a Xbox Elite controller now. I'm still learning it, and you know, I'm just trying to get better with it. But that's it for the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. You know, hopefully this can improve how your game looks if you're on Xbox, PS4, any of that. I mean, you can do this on your PC, but you guys have way more leeway. You guys can change however you like, and if you have a good graphics card and stuff like that, you guys will be chilling. But yeah, I think we reached 310 subscribers when I'm recording this video. So thank you if we did reach that. My channel is improving, and I'm thankful for all you guys. If you guys tuned into this video, make sure you guys do subscribe. Hopefully you can reach 320 subscribers. Let's see if we can beat that and, you know, reach our next goal. But yeah, don't forget to leave a like on this video. Don't forget to comment. Let me know what you think of the video. You know, let me know if any ideas you guys want me to throw out there, you guys want me to record, anything like that. I do have videos that I want to record, so I'm planning on to record those. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Peace out, guys.